Okay, so it's been a wonderful weekend, guys. I certainly had fun. I don't know about you. And this weekend, there were a lot of eventful events. I mean, memorable, unforgettable events. One of the most recent or remarkable ones is the one elections, the NPP primaries, and then we had tidal raves at the end. So after all the suffering, now we'll go to tidal raves and then have fun, enjoy. Accra people too, we know how to chill. The country is not country and the economy is not economy, but we know how to chill. Anyway, so welcome to the dark room with me, your hostess, the hottest, and you know how we do it here without talking much. My name is HER-LADYSHIP, and today I have with me a special guest. I mean, not guest. I mean, someone we are just going to have a flow of conversation, chit chat, and all that. And the whole world calls her Hajia Cruiz. Cruise mama. I mean, let me tell you, the first time I met you in uni, I hadn't yet seen you, but your name was everywhere. They say what? Your name precedes you. Before I met you, and one thing that really caught my attention to you is when you spoke. I was like, okay, that explains it. I know it was easy. So Hajia Cruiz is with me. She was one time women commissioner back in University of Education, and she did what Napoleon could not do. She made and paved way for young ladies in UW to have the confidence to get into politics and have their voices heard and be part of the game-changing process, or be the game changers. Hajia, this is the dark room. Here we say life is not that deep and we are just having a conversation. So you're welcome.
Thank you. Why are you laughing?
No, because I feel like I have an idea what you're coming to say.
Are you just sure you just didn't exaggerate your introduction?
I knew it. I knew you were going to say something like that. No, I even feel like I've not said enough.
I beg you.
I haven't said. I forgot the part where she owned series of businesses. But we will get into that. Not long. So Hajia, one more time, you're welcome to the dark room.
Thank you.
And I will just give you a few seconds to now tell us who you actually are. This is who I know you are, but you tell us who you actually are.
Hi there. Thank you so much. I'm most humbled. You've already blush me up. How do I say? With that exaggerated introduction. Well, I'm pleased. I'm even blushing. Any impatronation and professor. Don't say it and let people hold so much expectations. And then I start to speak and they'll be like, is this what she said? Anyways, my name is Hawa Alidu, but as you said, I'm mostly passionately, or how should I say it?
Affectionately, beautifully.
Called Hajia Cruiz, and I love the name so much. Well, the cruise actually doesn't mean the chilling as in cruise the people know. I got that name from senior high school when one of our teachers was like, hey, you lady, you like to cruise. We all thought it was the cruising, the chilling cruise. Yeah. And then one that asked you, her, madam, what's the meaning of cruise? And she was like, it means to win convincingly. I was like, ooh. I never knew that.
Me, I didn't know. That's a new thing.
Yes. She was like, it means to win convincingly, like cruise. She was like, I'm always the stuff with arguments, and it's like they need to accept what I'm saying, or it's nothing. So I always convince them. So that's actually the meaning of
cruise.
The cruise. Okay. To win convincingly.
It's giving me perspective because now it explains a lot. Looking at back then, so much enthusiasm that came with you contesting, and all.
I actually love the name so much because I know the meaning to it, and I feel it's a true reflection of who I am. It's true. I had to take it upon myself to just pick up the name, because you know how they say good names follows you and all that. So basically
Tell us a bit about your businesses and all that.
So, Hajia Cruiz, what should I say? Do I even know myself? I'm still in the process of knowing myself better. But for now, I'm actually an entrepreneur. Women advocate, like I'm into gender advocate. Let me use the word gender and not women, because of course I wouldn't stand there for the male to also be discriminated or anything like that. So I'm a gender advocate, basically into youth empowerment. It's something I hold very dear to me. And then the entrepreneurship part is very, very important to me, because I just feel like before I start empowering anybody, I need to empower myself first. And one of the easiest way I feel as a youth to empower yourself is through entrepreneurship, and it's something I hold very dear to my heart.
Okay.
So basically, that's who I am.
Before we continue, learn that before you can empower someone, you need to first of all empower yourself. That is from Hajia Cruiz. We need to put it as a quote. Okay, so I know that you are into a couple of businesses as an entrepreneur. I know that you do events here and there. Can you get us more into that? What exactly do you do?
Okay, honey. So when it comes to entrepreneurship, I'm an eventpreneur. I should say is one of it. And aside that, event is something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
A lot of people go into events for a lot of reasons, but for me, I had to enterprise on events, but then I first entered it through a passion. It was a passion, and for me, I feel it's a calling for me. And aside that, I run a printing press. I run a production, media. So it's all about, I run a multimedia firm. You can't really distance this printing firm from this event. I just feel like they are all intertwined.
Exactly.
I end up doing everything internally when I'm doing events. Events runs with production, with photography, videography, and it's all
printing,
about
publicity, a lot of it.
So the name of my media is actually called Kuhei's Multimedia, where we are into printing souvenirs, we are into industrial sewing, we are into packaging, we are into embroidery, we are into printing, like general printing, anything that has to branding. So just everything, everything. So that is what Kuhei's Multimedia is about. And we have the Cruise House event. That is the mother company where we run events. So I produce, I manage events, and I have a event as a house that we do produce. So basically, I run pageants. I have some pageant, even though we have actually put a bit hold on it for now, not as in stop for the year. I run Miss Muslima Ghana, which is a Muslim-based pageant,
first of its kind in Ghana,
of course, in Africa, of course. And yes, it was a great show. I mean, we did it. It was a great show, but then because of managerial issues, we had to put a bit hold on it, restructure things, and then bounce back much more stronger. So basically, that's what I'm into. And then most importantly, they are all passions for me. So I do my work, I'm cashing out, and I'm enjoying it.
I love that. I love the I'm cashing out part. Charlie, then passion, I learned something that passion, when you start with passion, then passion can translate into money. But if you want to start with money, or you are running with money as the first thing, you will get to a point where you will lock. But if it's a passion, even in times of difficulties, you will still push through, or you sail through. So yes, passion, then money, and then you're gonna cash out. Kuhei's Multimedia, right? Kuhei's Multimedia. I've been seeing the name, but all along, you don't want to know what I've been calling it. Because I just know the Hajia Cruiz part. I've just been saying Cruise Multimedia, not necessarily paying attention to the spellings. Okay, so how has growing up been for you as an individual, considering where we find ourselves? as a people? How has it been for you? Has it been interesting? Has it been fun? And I also know you're from the north. Are you from the north?
I'm not a northerner.
You are not.
I'm not. You see, one
Good.
mistake people do is like they just feel like every Muslim is
It's
a
a
northerner.
northerner.
Well, you are a northerner, but
Yes.
you're not a Muslim, are you?
But then, because people also think I'm a northerner, people
They
automatically think I'm a
assume
Muslim.
you're a Muslim. So
I'm Muslim,
That's
so
it. So I'm actually a Muslim, but I'm not a northerner.
okay.
Yeah. So basically, that I'm not from the north.
Okay, so where are you from? And
So I was born here. My daddy was born here, but we are Yoruba from
Okay.
Nigeria. Yes, but then my daddy was born here, but my grannies are all out there. So I'm a Nigerian. But I'm a Ghanaian by birth.
by birth, yeah,
Yes.
but from lineage.
From lineage,
you are from
I'm
Nigeria.
a Yoruba, so
Okay.
from Nigeria. So I'm not a northerner.
Okay.
But I'm a Muslim, a practical Muslim.
Muslim. So we are on the growing up part. As a young girl coming up, how was the training like from your home, and how has it shaped you into the young lady that you are today, and all the things that you are doing out there?
Pearl. I think I should call you that name because
It's
so
fine. It's so fine.
Yes, it's so simple for me because I don't want to struggle my jaws calling the
Her ladyship. Her ladyship.
I don't even want to call that. It's stressing my jaw. Anyway, Pearl, it's been super interesting. I mean, it's been super interesting for me growing up. It's been amazing.
Wow.
It's been a journey, a transformational journey.
Not a
for
lot of
me.
people say this.
It's been a super transformational. I don't know what their transformation is, but for me, it is. And then it's been very interesting.
Okay.
It's been amazing. It's been great.
Can you take us in it a little?
Let me be a bit brief. Pearl, I can talk a lot. I can talk. I mean, I can talk.
I
for
know.
Africa. Yes. So let me try to be a bit brief. Growing up, I was from a strict house. I mean, a strict house, and way back in junior high school. Let me tell you this: none of my mates know my house. Like, I mean, none of my mates from junior high school to senior high school, so university, know my house. I mean, just because of how strict our house was a bit. Not to say my parents weren't lovely, like lovely people. I grew up with one of the most lovely parents
Ever.
one could ever ask for. Yes, but I had to answer so many questions.
Of course.
If I should bring somebody to the house, do you know the person? Do you know the house they are coming from? How do you know her? Who is she? What kind of Oh my God, that's stress. I didn't want to go. So that is the whole reason for not bringing anybody to the house, because I'm not ready to answer that question.
All those questions, yeah.
Is she a good person? How am I about to tell who that person is? So just so I don't go through that stress, so I just don't bring anybody to the house.
at all.
Yes, but I go to people's house. But hey, when it's time I come home, I went to, I'm a super hyper person. You know me.
Yeah, of course.
I'm super hyper. I went to senior high school, and my hyper personality took me through a lot of things. I mean, there was no single activity that you wouldn't see Hajia Cruiz in it. I was in cadet, I was in sports, I was doing all the sports. Everything. And then, of course, academically too, I wasn't doing bad. And I mean, senior high school, Form 1, I had to take one of the, I took the best student in most of the courses in senior high school, even though I was actively in all these things you could find on campus. That's should to tell you how serious I was when it comes to academics.
I mean, I don't doubt that, because you and I are on MTN,
so of course,
bright scholars. So, and for MTN bright scholars, if your brains aren't working,
people had actually feel like when you're so active in this thing, it means that you're a bit dumb, which shouldn't be it. We share something in common, so you should know where I'm coming from.
Of course.
So basically, I wasn't coming from a super rich home. Yeah, we ate what we wanted, but then we weren't super rich.
Okay.
We were average
You were
family.
comfortable
in the house. But then there were one or two struggles we were going through as
normal.
a family, So, Pearl and senior high school, knowing well where I was coming from, I wanted to be very comfortable. Growing up, there is nothing that works better for me than comfortability. Like, I love to be comfortable with studies, with money, with life, with even when I'm chilling, I want to be comfortable. I just want to be comfortable in everything I'm doing. It's a high peg and priority to me. So knowing the house I was coming from in senior high school, I tried to work around a lot of things so that this comfortability could follow me to the university. I couldn't say my family couldn't take me through to the university, but of course we have our own struggles and challenges.
It's normal
as a family. So going to senior high school, you'd believe when I completed, we wrote our last paper on Friday. Pearl, on Monday I started working as a teacher.
Tell me about it.
I'm telling you.
I understand that.
I actually wrote my last paper on Friday, and the next morning, people saw me carrying my bag like consecutively that week, and they were wondering,
they don't
what is this girl doing?
They don't understand.
I'm like, "Obano Kwahi."
Oh, Kwahi says,
"Ejuma, that you know, I had to be writing applications when I was writing WASI. I don't know, because I knew what I wanted for myself. You know? So I mean, that was part of the comfortability, and then the financial stability I started growing up
and I think that has manifested into the woman you are today.
Pearl, in senior high school I already started my printing business. You know, I ran one of the popular t-shirts for inter-schools, intercore, where we call it intercore. When I was in senior high school, I was really cashing out big time. Pearl, I'm not sitting here to brag, but
cashing out big time.
The cashing out is very important. It's very, very important.
It's necessary.
I started cashing out then. You know, I was doing visual art. To even tell you this, I have a lot of stories to tell. I know
we have to do part one and part two.
But I mean, let me brief you this thing out. You know, I went to school to read general arts. My BSc result was quite good. Science, I had A, and I went to school to read general arts.
You had A in science. What
yes. Hey, auntie, I don't even know how it happened, but well, I studied, so it just happened. But amazingly, I didn't get an A for English.
Okay.
But I had A for science.
How shocked
and then
I am.
my math was very good too. I actually had A for math as well.
You don't say.
I'm telling you this. But then for English, I didn't get that. So I went to senior high school to read visual art.
Okay.
But to read general. Let me take it up again. So I went to senior high school to read general arts.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when I went, I was told the general arts class is full. So I should go and study science just because of they saw my results. I was like, what? Me?
I can't
Read
do
what?
science.
I can't do science. No, they were like, your result is good.
You can do
it. I said, no, this kind of motivation, I don't want it. I know myself so much, and I know what I want. I mean, growing up, I wanted to be a journalist. I mean, so I had to be the artist,
exactly.
I'll be in range. Then they were like, a science. If you don't want science, then you have to go and sit in the visual art. Since it's also an art for the me time, until we are able to see if we could adjust you in the art. And I was like, then it's better I sit in the visual art. Because I feel if I sit in the science class, they might forget and leave me there. So I went to sit in visual art. So throughout about 2 months in the visual art class, I was just sitting there. I wasn't doing nothing because I knew I was going to move out of the class soon. But then, and behold, our teachers start coming to class, like introduction and all of this thing, and my teachers start to take liking in me, like because of probably the way I speak. Like everything they'll be like, Kohawa. Everything they'll be like, Kohawa. Everything they'll be like, Kohawa. Meanwhile, I'm not supposed to sit in that class. So lo and behold, I was going to the administration. I'm like, sir, what is happening? Go and sit very soon. Until the first term came to an end. We were coming to write exams. And I was like, Pearl, it looks like all hope was lost.
So you just have to do visual art like that. So you have to take it.
So honey, when I actually took the best graduating student in
visual arts.
In junior high school.
Okay.
So when our school proprietress actually heard I was studying visual art,
she was shocked.
She was like, what do you mean, Hawa? I mean, not to call anybody's name, but people are studying general arts. Like, why the
you
hell?
know this thing you are saying?
Yes.
We usually think the visual arts is for students that are not so good in academics, so they just push them
I
out
had
there.
to fight people all the time with this thing. I had to fight people because the moment you go places and you tell people I study visual arts and they start giving you that look, I'll be like, don't start it. You know how I am, Pearl. I'm like, don't start it. Even in university, people will be like, you're an art student. When we are talking, I'm like, hey, hold on. Like, I mean, you know that thing, Pearl. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, girl.
That's how the journey has been for me. So basically, I ended up studying visual arts.
Now,
and honey, I don't regret it one bit.
One bit, yeah.
I don't regret it. I mean, if you take me back and again, I really want. This is one of the mistakes, sweet mistakes. I want to keep doing, making.
You know. This whole thing you've said right now has given me an understanding to why you said growing up has been amazing. It's been this because I mean it's been transformational. Things you didn't expect ended up becoming things that have shaped you into who you are right now
in my life.
But you mentioned earlier that you are Muslim by religion, right? So being from a strict home, a Muslim home, and we all can agree that we know that most Muslims home they are quite strict and they are very elephantic, emphasizing. I have no idea what I'm saying, but they are very big on their religion, right? Getting into events, you know how it can be out there, being an outgoing person and being someone who is here and there doing a lot of things. Your businesses requires you to go out to meet people. How has it been? How has it been coming from that background and everything? Has it been challenging? You've had it smooth?
Well, Pearl, I should say that it's actually mostly about probably who you are as an individual.
Okay.
Because growing up with both parents, my mom knows me and she knows who her daughter is.
Okay.
Trust me, you can come to the house and say, Amelia, I saw your daughter do this. And my mom would actually tell you that my daughter didn't do this. There are things that I even do, and then it will take myself to argue out to my mom to say like, yes, I did this, because my mom knows who her daughter is. So even though it was a strict house, and then my parents knowing who I was, and then giving them enough reasons to see what I was doing and believing in what I was doing, it wasn't actually too difficult for me. Yes, like trying to convince my parents to accept what I was doing. You know, when our work requires to do most nights because of the nature of our job, somebody will come to you and be like, I need a souvenir like for tomorrow, and they'll call you in the evening and you need to stay up work like to work for these clients. And then I've been doing it in the house and in the office, and my parents got to understood the business, so it wasn't really difficult, like they accepting the work with
you do.
Who I was. So it wasn't really difficult for me because my parents believed in me so much,
and they trust you.
They trust me, and they knew the upbringing they gave me.
Given you.
So it wasn't really difficult for me like that, as compared to as other like children. Like,
but as a young lady, now away from your religion, away from your strict home, particularly as a young lady, how has it been penetrating into the business market? Because I know it's quite difficult. And if you do not have any sort of backing, like you're just alone as a young girl, you say you want to do this, how is penetrating?
Well, Pearl, I'm going to debunk that. I'm really going to do that using myself as an example. You know, there is nothing has to do with you as a woman or a lady if you want to work. You know, I have never believed in that perception. And then it has never happened to me before too. You know, I just see myself as a human being, just as the male there.
So there is nothing like woman or
I don't know if it's my belief that worked for me, but in the space that I am in, I just feel like at school for me, like, you see me, you see the men, we are working. Like, I mean, I don't know how to put it, but then I need to debunk the fact that people actually have to exaggerate. How has it been being a woman? Like, what do you mean by being a woman? What has being a woman
got to do with
honey,
you do okay?
I should say that for me, it has been an advantage.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective.
I should put it that it's been more of an advantage to me.
Okay.
You know, this our printing job. 90% of those who are into it are men.
Exactly.
Are men.
Exactly.
And then you have to go a lot to these offices, pitch your businesses to them, let them be convinced that you can take care of their branding jobs. And most of the time, it's these men that go there. So as a woman, they see you
and they see
they'll
something
be like,
different.
Whoa, this is interesting to see a woman. So for me, it's always a whoa moment for me.
But that could be a disadvantage or an advantage.
Well,
because
it
if
should
it's
be an
like
advantage.
99% of men that are in that business,
Well,
the question is, as a woman, can you do it?
Honey, you see, that is it. But then I just feel like it still bounce back to who the individual is. Honey, I wouldn't come to the office and then when you see me, nothing about me would make you think about the fact that will she be able to do it?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't present myself like that.
Okay.
So I don't remember the last office I've entered that I've been asked a question like, would you be able to do this? That's why I keep saying that it's always a wow moment
I'm
for
proud
me.
of you.
Because they end up saying, whoa.
Okay.
Because of how I present myself to you.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't know how to put it. But then that's what I was saying. So it should be more of an advantage to me than a disadvantage. From the beginning, I knew it was a male dominated job
area,
that I wanted to do. And then one thing was like, I took experience on the job, and then I loved the job.
Doing it since senior high.
Yes, since senior high school, because I was cashing out and I was loving it. So it was working for me. You know, the cashing out is so important.
It's very important.
And then the passion
that
was super killing it for me.
Okay.
So I go in there with my passion I have for the job, and with the presentation I give you,
and then you are good to go.
I'm good to go. I mean, I don't have to. I start speaking and people will be like, if we are not careful, you are going to sell us. It's okay. I mean, I think it's
also the mindset.
It is.
Everything starts from the mind. If
mind.
you yourself, you are thinking, as a woman, would I be able to do it? You will not even have the confidence to convince anyone that you'll be able to do it.
But then I feel like it has to do with my professional, my way of doing things.
Yeah.
But then there could be other channels where women might be finding it difficult to do certain things. But then,
definitely.
honey, I still keep saying that, like, when we keep growing up with, because I'm a woman, because I mean,
we should cancel that out. Cancel it. Cancel
should be
that
out.
mentality.
I mean, that mentality is hurting a
What
lot of people.
a woman can do better.
That phrase, I even have a problem
You
with that
hate
phrase. I see. Why should it even start with the phrase that what a man can do? What is making you say that?
They are debunking a lot of things.
I'm debunking. See, and then it has worked for me, honey. It has worked for me. For everything, I just feel like it starts from the mindset.
Yeah, it does.
Everything starts with a mindset. Honey, there are a lot of things I don't believe in. And then they are working for me. I mean, I don't believe in a lot of things, and it's working for me. So I just feel like it all starts with a mindset.
Okay.
I don't have any mindsets of I'm a woman, so I'm a woman. What a man can do, woman can do, honey.
Woman can do better.
Please.
The country's economy is in shambles. It's in shambles. Oh, the youth are crying. We are dying. Unemployment. Everything is happening. Charlie, they are jackpotting left and right. We are leaving the country, and then it feels like our leaders are not concerned enough. As a businesswoman, okay, who is into it? You are in the economy. As much as you are cashing out, but things has changed. has there been a drastic change in your business? Are you still cashing out the same? Has things dropped? Things increased? Is your business, what is it like in this current economy?
Pearl, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like going on interviews. You know why? Because people will be giving you questions where you need to answer. Like, I love the fact that when you call me on the show, you didn't give me any script to go through.
Of course.
You were like, Hajia, come and speak your mind.
Exactly.
Because I personally
It's supposed to be as
don't-
real
you
as
know,
possible.
For me right now, I don't like speaking on platforms because sometimes I just feel like people have to give you things you need to talk
To
about when
say,
you can't say your
they'll direct
reality.
you, yeah.
Honey, speaking of economy, for me as an individual, the economy is economy for me.